Hi everyone. I'd like to bring you a short video about finding your online rhythm right here for VOIM 210 Office Technology Software 2. Let's take a look at the challenge we have, and it begins in week 2 through week 7. We have a number of different assignments each and every week. Readings and lectures, discussions, SAM training. We have normal activities that you'll do every week, and then we'll have special activities that happen on weeks 4 and 7, and finally there are reflections. If we take a look at the 7 readings and lectures and include the 32 graded activities, that's 39 a week, nearly 5 a week for the next 6 weeks. And this video is all about finding your online rhythm. And that I'll define as a repeatable approach you take each week to completing your assignments here in our virtual classroom. Now, online classes offer you a great deal of flexibility, but it comes at a cost. You have to be responsible for managing your time effectively. And secondly, everyone has different responsibilities and priorities, and you'll need to adjust your rhythm to fit yours. Now, looking in the upper right, you see what looks like a little heartbeat. And that's what I'll suggest as an online rhythm you can use for this course and many other courses here at Bryant and Stratton College. Let's dive into that in detail. Each week begins with readings and lectures, and I suggest you start these out right there on Sunday and Monday at the beginning of each of our weeks. After you become familiar with our subject for the week, it's time to move on to discussion and that initial post. And that's where you'll submit your response to the discussion question in detail that meets all the content requirements in the discussion directions. And you should focus on a word count that's above 150 and of course with correct mechanics. As we move on through the middle of the week, please continue in discussion with additional dialogue posts. Now these are student replies to 3 or more of our classmates over 4 more days. The replies specifically address the topic, and please inspire new relevant discussion opportunities at a scholarly level. Then in the middle end of the week, it's time to turn your attention to some of our first activities. And the first one I'll suggest and recommend is the SAM training in weeks 1 through 4. That will really help prepare you for the other activities that happen later in the week. And after the SAM training, it's time to turn your attention to normal activities like textbook assignments and portfolio installments. And on certain weeks, weeks 4 and week 7, we'll have some special activities such as exams and portfolio submissions. And in weeks 2, 5, and 6, you'll see, we'll also have reflections. Now, if you're managing your time effectively and if nothing has occurred with those other priorities in your life, you're done for the week. But we have some flexibility here in my classes to turn in assignments late. Let's take a look at our late policy. Let's take a look at discussions. They open on Sunday. Your primary response is due on Tuesday before midnight. And then finally on midnight Saturday, we close discussion down. And now these deadlines, they're fixed. And they're fixed because this is not an individual assignment. Rather, a discussion is with our entire class. For other types of activities in weeks 2 through 7, including weekly reflections, the activities in midterm, well, they're due Saturday at midnight Eastern Time. But as I mentioned, to provide you some flexibility through the semester, the late policy for these types of assignments is that there will be 5% deducted for each day that an assignment is late. And after an assignment is more than 3 days late, unfortunately, it will receive a 0. And I want to be sure to mention here that our late policy for week 7.5, well, there is no late policy. Submissions have to be done before our last day of class. That's because grades are due immediately after the last day of class. So to conclude, here's an illustration of an online rhythm that has worked for many students here at Bryant and Stratton College as you work through all of the different lectures, readings, discussions, and activities through the week. And a few tips that I'd like to share with you are, well, the first is always complete the SAM training before attempting any textbook activity. And secondly, know the costs. Not all assignments or activities are weighted equally. You'll want to spend more of your time and attention on those activities that have a greater impact on your final grade. This course, well, it's a 200 level course, and that's usually very early in a student's academic journey. So it's worthwhile to take some time to develop your online rhythm, that repeatable approach you take each week to completing assignments in our virtual classroom. Remember to be responsible and manage your time effectively. So find your rhythm. What was presented here was one example that may be adjusted to meet your specific responsibilities and priorities. I want every one of my students to be the most successful they can be, and I'm here for you. If you have any questions, please post them up to any of the various discussion forums or email me. Thank you all.